We say that we are Afri-centric. We put the village center.
So let's talk a little bit more about early childhood experiences, specifically how we bond with our caregivers.
The Amani program is a peer mental health program where our professional mental health specialists at Homeless Children's Network literally train, engage, and work with peer Black folk in the community who don't have a professional background in mental health, but have an interest in helping, an interest in authenticity, and helping transform some unique niche of the Black community from a place of trauma to wellness.
Today I pledge to be a conduit for change. I will live honorably through my thoughts. Peer-to-peer programs like Amani are important because it really embraces the wisdom that already exists within Black communities. So it's a way of affirming and validating that the community knows what's best for its members. So the idea is that you take people who have intimate knowledge of what it's like to be both well and unwell within their communities, and you identify them as the people who have the solutions.
As a Black person, what we often experience is, we have to be resilient. We have to be strong. We have to keep our guard up at all times. Understanding that that's not sustainable. That's not good for our mental health. And learning how to break down those barriers and create safe space to be vulnerable, to love yourself, to love others. Those are some of the core components we try to teach in Amani.
We're gonna work in some small groups. I have like a case example printed off for y'all, and you'll do the same thing that you did with Love is Blind.
I have a pattern with myself. I want to find love, and that's what she was doing. And that's what most of us in this room probably did before, in our life. So it's our go-to. So we choose to settle for less in order to be happy. So I give you all my power because I want you to be my man and all the stuff that you come with. But we blinded at. When I look for relationships and men, I'm looking for a father, somebody that's secure for me, somebody to hold me down. And then when I look for women and being my friend, I want them to be like how I am, not like how my mother was. And I don't find that. So I stopped doing that because then I don't allow you to be genuine with me. But she just dogged herself out because she looking for something that's not there.
Him saying he's not good at leading and asking for assistance, and which is fine in a relationship, but he is going to have to learn, even with her or moving forward, how to lead and how to become that man that a woman needs or want. It's not even need, want. You know what I mean? And him asking for assistance when it all goes back to him not seeing that in his father.
But watch the magical workforce element. We are able to provide them a stipend, a healthy amount of funding per month to learn, to grow. There are workforce programs all over the world and the city, of course, but the Afrocentric part.
So we know that at Amani, we're talking about workforce development, how we connect to people in the workplace can also be influenced by our early childhood bonds. And even if we're not focusing on direct relationships between us and our caregivers, how relationships are modeled or how they're demonstrated with the adults in our life can also impact how we navigate relationships as well. These are the things that we say work for us. These are the interventions that we have created and that have been cultivated literally over centuries.
We help them set goals when we first meet them, and then we help work on those goals throughout the whole cohort. It would be personal and professional goals, and hopefully their personal goals will align with their professional goals as well. And so how we help them with the barriers as well is, since we do have access to like different workforce engines, we can help them, get those set up, and then once they put in their application, we could track their application status, whether they're in the viewing process or if they got denied. And then we could also go back and get in contact with the person that looked at their application and vouch for them and be like, hey, I do think our participant is good for this program because they do this, that, and the third. When we first start out with them, we do the simplest thing where it's just helping them get their online presence set up professionally, whether that's getting a professional headshot, getting a LinkedIn, getting a professional email. So we help them with that. And a lot of them really appreciate what we do for them because they were never taught this or they didn't know the guidance or area of which way to go.
Our workforce development, it's about 2 months, I would say, of just straight workforce development where we're going through cover letters, resumes. We often use our partners as well to provide just any other support and any tips or tricks for them just to feel confident in the workforce avenue.
This class, the Amani program, when I heard about it, I was like, what is that? Like, where did it come from? Because I always hear something about the different communities that have all this money, but when it comes to my community, we don't have anything. So I feel her pain, and how do we support each other, link up, and hold each other?
The main career paths that Amani participants are interested in include all sorts of entry-level positions within the health field. So we have a lot of folks who are interested in case management, patient navigation work, helping people find resources in the community, and specifically Black people in the community, because they know that there are often barriers to folks actually accessing the care that they need. We are also an alternative entry point into the health field as well. Our participants may not come in with significant background or training, any education necessarily in the field, but they're using Amani as an opportunity to receive that training, low barrier access to the training as well. And so we're thinking about people who want entry-level roles in the health field. Also, we have people who are more far advanced in their career and more far advanced in their training. So people might pursue roles within the city or county as well. So people might take on community health worker roles as well. So anything that can get them situated to be able to get people access to the care that they need in their communities.
Anyone that wants to join Amani goes through a pretty intensive interview process. First they're reached out to a recruiter, and we use community recruiters who are past participants. And so they really have a understanding of what the program is aiming for. And then from there, they're submitting their resumes and they're answering an application, and then they get invited to the interview. Amani is trying to build community healers. And really what we see, we're trying to build people that will bring a light out into their communities through their work and through their own, being, to help heal themselves and help heal others. So we're really looking for community healers, and how that falls into different job sectors is really up to what their personal aspirations is.
I choose to make a difference in my community. And to be a part of something bigger than myself. I am in charge of my energy. My voice. And my actions. I speak with love. Act of love. And walk in love.
It's a well thought through, intentional community of belonging.
5 conditions: safe, seen, comforted, valued, and confident. Those are all needed to create a secure attachment. You just learned a whole lot. Again, we're not expecting that you be perfect, but I want you all to give it your best shot. All right? They might have some issues with vulnerability. They might reel people in, start to connect, and then get afraid and push them away. So you see the balance, you see the openness, you see the security there. Mental health and well-being isn't just one thing. It's a collection of spiritual well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, and taking all of those into account. So the core of attachment theory focuses on our human desire, very natural desire to seek contact, love, and connection. We have anxious avoidant. Anxious avoidant becomes avoidant dismissive, and fearful avoidant becomes disorganized.
Throughout the cohort, we do have 3 different tiers. And so the first one is like the inward journey. That's where they're really working on themselves and their mental health and really learning about themselves and why they may react a second way. And then the second tier is workforce development. So that's when we try to tie in, once they get that emotional intelligence, tie it in with the workforce development. And then the third tier is the community outreach. And with that, that's when we just teach them how to use everything that they've utilized in Amani out in the community. And with this, we also do have sometimes community events, whether we're partnered with other organizations like the YMCA, where we'll go out there and we'll be a guest for them, and they'll teach us different materials that we need as well.
I'm trying to be better at honoring what my limits are and inviting people into that process of saying, this is what I can offer, this is what I can do, and being vulnerable in that way with the people around me.
Its parents didn't get the education and the healing, and they didn't have time. Like you said, they were just doing the best that they could with what they had. And so it is up to us now, to move forward and get that education and get that healing and get that therapy, and just how do we break that generational trauma and everything, we're just all learning,
One of the things we really focus on is really meeting people where they're at. So figuring out what their current skill set is and where they want to go with that. And then we try to tailor their individual coaching trainings that they get with their counselors on a weekly basis to help them set those career goals, come up with a career development plan, and then help them, building their resumes, building up their LinkedIn profiles, and connecting them with different employers throughout the city.
to really try to help play some of those roles. And sometimes people aren't quite ready for the role that they're looking for. That's where the development plan comes in to try to help them find what role can you get that'll help you lead to those, so you can kind of get those next steps to where you really want to be.
Y'all are now a part of an entire network of Amani. Well, you will soon be Amani grads. Y'all are a part of at least 3 cohorts already. So when y'all wear y'all Amani graduation shirts and somebody stop you, or you on wherever, you on the bar, you on the bus, wherever, you like, Amani! Me too, right? Y'all are joining a network of people who have moved through this process. So I hope that provides a little bit more about how do we maintain what we created here